in my business. So it's been a drought year, and for a while I was on top of things. I was out here mowing, I was out here weeding, obviously spring, summer, and then we get into summer proper and things kind of get out of control, and I can't be out here because we're in 99, high 90s, feels like 100 something, feels like I was gonna say, feels like burning. And so I can't be out here a lot as much as I want it to be. Or when I am out here, I have to be out here right before sunset, which is to say maybe I get like 2 hours to do something that I need to be out here for 5 hours for or something like that. Anyway, it's August 20th, I think, and we're soon to be into the fall planting season. What that looks like this year, who knows? Last year and the year before that, I started feeling cooler later. Like it felt cooler, and I want to say like October. And then last year, I want to say like November. And then we had the snow in February. I've seen different forecasts for this coming winter, but they've been preliminary at this point, so I don't know. I have been trying to stay on top of mowing, but that's a thing of, because we do have an electric mower, electric push mower, besides my manual push mower. That's something that's weather dependent and just like what time dependent on available time. I have a lot of things I want to transplant. I was gonna say believe it or not, but there's really no chance but to believe it because it's a fact. This is a grand improvement. In the distance, you might see the farm, our neighbor's farm, and the drought hit everyone real bad. A lot of the farmers around here have terrible corn harvests, or I think they rent their farm out, so I don't know that anyone rented it out this year. But I came out here and I weeded things, and I tend to mound up my weeds because over here is a lot of sandiness, so I tend to mound them up. Even better when it's in a tire, but I don't have a tire, so here's a bunch of weeds that were mostly around the lantana and the hydrangea, but I've just been putting weeds over here, and I'm kind of upset about it because I do put the strawberries when I take them out. I do put them in piles, but I tend to put them on the piles. They're on the septic drain field. Oh, hold on. I don't know why I was so zoomed out. I tend to put it on the septic drain field, and so we do have these, but with these hot temperatures, my idea is that they'll just crumble, dry out and crumble, and then if the seeds don't really touch the soil before they crumble, that's kind of how I've been mounting that pile over there. That was a big slope down, and it's kind of evening out. Anyway, lots of things I want to transplant. I'm still thinking about whether or not I want to leave these or transplant these lavender. I want to finish that. I have to wait for it to get cooler. I had a hydrangea here. I don't know what happened to her. She died in the heat. But we're going to leave her because I think the hydrangea was moved from another location last season, and I moved it here and it's doing well. So I'm going to leave her there. This peach tree, very excited for fall so I can pull it back a bit and then prune her up. Because I pruned her up and I should have leaned the tree back farther. But I was like, oh, the road. Blah, 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 blah. But now it's leaning too forward. We do see some mushrooms on that old oak, little oak fence. I was weeding over here. Over here we have some vinca and a bunch of other weeds. My hydrangea, a bunch of, I think it's Bahia grass. Anyway, this area is doing great, fantastic, la da da da. But I am moving that wisteria. This is my amethyst falls. I am moving her. And I'm going to redo this whole area. I'm thinking maybe I'll have some raised beds for gardening. Essentially, I'm going to keep my gardening to this side of the house. Over here and over here. I do want to clear out and prepare a space. Maybe I'll be doing it in the winter. I want my patio area sooner than later because I do want to be out here doing the whole fall winter living. I do. I do have my pomegranate over here that is, I'm calling it dead, but I'm going to give her another chance. I don't know if I'm going to leave it here and give it another chance, or there seems to be like a lot of grass invasion and she didn't do much over here. Maybe I need to move it to a drier spot. So that's something to consider. But I do think I want to also reline the border of this bed because right now it's kind of like a big drop. Maybe I'll move the pomegranate up a bit. I don't know. You can really see, I don't think I've really noticed it until like this year. Probably because other years the whole area is relatively green, but this year it's really prominent where you can see where the septic drain field is, which I love. I love that for me because now I know, it's easier to know what areas not plant in and whatnot. This grass growing through the rug. No, no. Do I have a? I don't have an option right now. That has to be a later issue. Anyway, lots of weeding had to be done here. Lots of weeding to be done over here. Um, I want to redo this bed. I think there were some Sweet Williams. Yeah, I see them right there. Sweet Williams. I'm thinking I might even push the border as opposed to having it like over here. I might push it farther closer up. I did line this bed. I'm going to redo that as well. I think these are like crabgrass. I don't know. Okay, probably a hummingbird moth or whatever. But I'm going to redo this. I have to figure out how. Let me see how many steps this is approximately. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 or 7. I see some more some sandbars have to come and de-weed with the hoe. I want to do that. I want to redo these beds, the lines, la da da da. I'm even thinking I want to, because this grass is growing on top of weed barrier. So I don't know if I want to do that or not. I definitely want to take out the sand that's on top of the other portion of the tank here and figure out something else to have besides grass growing on top of it. I've decided like a while ago, like it's been in my heart. I want to take apart this bed. So that means these carnations, this nepeta I just got this season, a bunch of this dianthus. These are supposed to be annuals. Did I tell you to come in here? No, I didn't. No, I didn't. So I'm gonna try and plant it somewhere else. So the cats, I think it's Cat's Meow, Autumn Joy. It should be a bunch of lemon coral sedum. The lantana is gonna be terrible to pull up. That's a big hassle. It's gonna be to pull up. I have some hooker. I don't know if it seems like maybe 2 of them are alive. This really, I have not been over here weeding too much because it's been a drought. It's been a drought. There's some dianthus and some mums, and this is a verbena. This is either gonna go. All this is either gonna go. My idea had been over there, but I'm thinking I might just put it back over here. Let me get the hoe and put these grass things places. Suddenly the sky is very pink hued. It did rain today. I think it was on the forecast as light rain showers, thunderstorms, whatever. It did rain. Not super, super heavy, but it did rain. Tomorrow, however, is supposed to be, last I checked, heavy thunderstorms. So I'll probably be out here again tomorrow. And it'll be easier to weed because it's easier to weed when the ground is wet and whatnot. This strip can get weeded some more. You know, the zinnias seed themselves, and I've had many zinnias in here the past 2 seasons, and nothing came up. I went and got a packet, and still nothing came up. So it was a tough year. I would like to make this like a permanent bed line with some more, like some shrubs, maybe even a couple hydrangeas. But in terms of annuals, I'm kind of giving up on this. I'll leave the gladiolas, and maybe I'll take them out in the spring if they come back because they're kind of crowded. Super fantastic. I love this. I love the view. I really do. But like, I need a lot of, if I were to keep this up for next year, it would have to be a lot of soil, I probably have to do drip irrigation. Regardless, I want to shorten this bed some more. Regardless of anything, I do want to shorten this bed some more. And my sister is doing it at her house. And I think that's the great stepping stone. First step, I should say, is to I'm going to widen this area, at least to this black thing, if not a little farther. Actually, I would probably prefer it to where that lumber ends. So it's... Can I move it now? I could, but like, what's the point? I'll do that later. I'll move it and I'll turn it this way. I don't know how deep that bed's going to be in that case, but I do want to mow it down, get some landscaping fabric, and then just like kill off the grass and then have this as like a patio area. And then I would pave this small area as opposed to like the small area plus everything else, plus the back strip. I'm, you know, I could also put plastic on the back strip, but at least for the short term, I would want to put plastic from here and make this little patio. I could be out here, sat here, if you know, and that's sooner to do than the patio, because then it's like the ground is kind of firm already, and I could just be out here, and that'd be cute, and I could have some string lights or something, right? I just have to deal with the wasps and whatnot, but we already have the seats out here, so it's not that far of a step. It's just mowing and killing the grass, and then yeah, I'm about this. I'm really about this. So this is gonna be my idea. This is gonna be little patio area right off the front steps. Yeah, and then I'll clear all this out. I might put some of this in this bed because like I do have, but then also there were things I moved to this bed because they weren't doing well in this bed, like the because this bed gets full sun. This bed that's shaded earlier. This bed has been amended, you know, with soil and wow, look at how chunky those hibiscus roots are. Can I divide this? Because I would love to divide it. But also, this is so close to the water spout and closer to the house. But it's also over there, depending on where I put it, it could get shaded by the oaks at some point of the day. I don't know. Things to think about. I'm definitely leaving, is my idea. I'm leaving my Queen Elizabeth rose. I like looking at her from inside the house, right there. I don't want to put anything too high because I like looking down the road. I would say something that... I would say I would like to have things no closer than taller than 5 feet. But I could probably do... Let me see. 5 feet is like right here for me, I'm thinking. And then I would like to do, I think 5 to, let me see. I just want to be able to see the road and not have to like stretch over. So I think 5 feet would be like ideal. No more than 5 feet. And things I don't have to amend super much. I have this fig tree that's going to stay there. That might get big over time. I'm sure my mother's going to want to keep, or even past this garden, now that we have a better idea of where the septic drain field is. I'm thinking I'm gonna move this box and have it be a new box for compost behind the house, and I might even redraw the line to this. So this is also up for debate, but regardless, things are moving. But what a pretty view. Let me take it in before it's no longer a thing up here.